Hi everyone, my name is Chris Stewart. I'm the founder of SuredBits. I'm going to be showing you the new web UI for the SuredBits wallet today and building a discrete log contract that represents a bet for the Super Bowl on the Bitcoin network. So with any DLC, the very first thing you need to do is go get the Oracle information. You can go to oracle.suredbits.com to see a list of oracles that are going to attest to things in the future. After copying the announcement hex to your clipboard, you can come over here to the Create DLC tab on the wallet and paste in the hex that represents the Oracle information. So the things that you see pop up here are the possible outcomes for the Super Bowl. Los Angeles Rams can win, Cincinnati Bengals can win. There could be a tie, there could be an act of God, and we need to allocate money to each of these outcomes based on what we want to bet on. So let's first start with the total amount of money we want to put in the bet, which for demo purposes, I'm going to do 100,000 sats. And then we pre-populate a 50-50 split of this bet. You can adjust this if you want, but for this demo, we're just going to go with a 50-50 split. So the next thing to do with your DLC is to figure out how much money you want to receive for the various payouts. So I want to bet on the Los Angeles Rams, so I'm going to say I want 100,000 sats if the Rams win. I want 0 sats if the Bengals win. I want to get my money back if there's a tie or an act of God. So this is the terms and conditions for the discrete log contract, and the next part is just about negotiating this DLC with your peer so that you can build a Bitcoin transaction that represents this bet. So what you do down here is you would come down and type a message for your peer. Hi from Chris, betting on the Super Bowl. And then you would paste in your peer's Tor address here. You need to obtain this Tor address from your peer before beginning to build this bet. Once you've obtained that Tor address, you would click this execute button here and it would send them an offer for a bet into their DLC wallet mailbox. So what I'm going to do for convenience sake here is send this identical offer from a laptop that I have running next to me right here. So I'm going to click the execute button on this wallet on my MacBook, and then voila, you see this offer appear in your mailbox. This is what your counterparty to the bet would see on their end. So I'm going to click over here. I'm going to look at this and see that here is the offer for the bet. So it's always very important to look at the outcomes and the payouts for the discrete log contract that you're doing. We see we have Los Angeles Rams here, 100,000 sats, Cincinnati Bengals here, 0 sats. That's right, because I wanted to bet on the Rams. And then we see these kind of cases where there's a tie or an act of God, I just get my initial money back. So that's the setup process for this bet. And let's click execute to begin building the Bitcoin transaction that represents the DLC. And voila, here we go. We've broadcast a Bitcoin transaction that represents a bet on the Super Bowl. Let's go to a block explorer here and make sure that we can go find this transaction. And hey, there it is. You can see the transaction that represents this bet. So if you guys look at the timestamp on when I recorded this video, it's actually March 31st. So that means the Super Bowl is actually over. And for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to settle this bet right now as well. This is very abnormal with a DLC that you'd be doing because you don't have the Oracle's signatures up front. You need to wait for the Oracle to attest to what happened in the real world. But since this is a demo, let's just settle this bet simultaneously. And hey, another transaction. So this represents closing the DLC that we just created. So let's make sure we can find this on a block explorer here. Voila, we see it spends that output that represented the bet, and I should see this money in my wallet. So if I look here, I see that I've received a total of 100,000 sats. Sorry, excuse me, that's 100,000 sats collateral in the DLC. I have a P&L of 50,000 sats, and that equates to 100% rate of return. So it was a very profitable DLC for me. This is how DLCs work. If you guys want to try this out yourself, go to the Umbrel App Store and download the SuredBits wallet, and we'll have a desktop version of this wallet out soon.